and I'm here tonight to talk to you about Transition St Albans, and I'm hoping that you will want to support our work informing and engaging local people in how to live more environmentally sustainable lives. I've volunteered with Transition St Albans for about 6 years now. I got very involved with them when my youngest was born, really driven by such a strong feeling that for my children and for everybody's children to have a secure future, the big environmental issues really need to be tackled. And I try to find a way to do more than just my own recycling and do my bit in a more meaningful way. And for me, that's working with, volunteering with Transition St Albans. Now, I'm from an environmental group, so you're probably expecting me to talk about things like this. Environmental doom and gloom, droughts and floods and polar bears. But I don't think I need to talk to you about those kind of pictures because you're a really well-informed audience, and I bet if I asked you to put your hands up, the vast majority of you would agree that you know climate change is happening and you know that mankind's working its way through the world's resources at an unsustainable rate. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you know what to do about it, and that's where Transition St Albans comes in. St Albans is shockingly bad really in terms of our ecological footprint as a city. There was a report a few years ago that showed that per head we've got the second highest of any city in England here in St Albans, and Transition St Albans wants to try and help people do something about that. So if I'm not going to talk about gloom and doom, let's talk about things like this. So the photograph on the left is one of our Transition Streets groups. We've run 22 of them across the district now, and we get together groups of neighbours and they work together over about 6 months and they look at how to cut their carbon footprint. This was our Salisbury Avenue group. The one on the right is a photograph of one of our open food gardens where people who already grow fruit and vegetables at home show other people how they can go about it. And these are 3 pictures from last year's Sustainable St Albans Week. On the left is a community litter pick. In the middle is a tree planting up at Hartwood Forest. And on the right, this was a fabulous event for young people making things out of junk. And this girl made the whole London Eye out of stuff that otherwise would have gone in the bin. It was such a lovely afternoon. So who are Transition St Albans? We're one of about 1,000 transition initiatives around the world, but each one is run completely separately. And transition towns are all about, they're driven by a really optimistic and practical approach to trying to help communities deal with the issues of climate change and resource usage by saying, well, what can we do in our neighbourhood by working together? And Transition St Albans, we're small and we're not trying to be big, we're trying to be a catalyst, we're trying to make things happen. So this photograph, for example, is a lovely organisation called Food Smiles, which is a community growing project where people share the work and then they share the produce. And that started as an idea within Transition St Albans with a group of people who came to TSA and wanted to get it started, and now it's completely independent and running separately from us, and we think that's fabulous. To give you a sense of our scale, our whole turnover last year was less than £17,000, and all of our activities are volunteer run and led, apart from we've got 2 part-time project workers on Sustainable St Albans Week. So if you give us funding tonight, it'll make a really significant difference to an organisation of our size, and all of our activities are within St Albans City and District, so all of your funding will also stay in this district. So these are the kind of projects that we do. All of our activities are about trying to help people be more environmentally sustainable in different ways. We have our food group that runs the food gardens and skills sharing sessions. Our awareness raising group puts on films and things like that to help educate people. Transition Streets is the one where the neighbours come together and look at how they can work together to cut their carbon footprint. Thermal imaging, you can come and see it if you want to come around the back. We've got these lovely thermal imaging cameras that we lend out so that people can spot heat loss from their house and then do something about it to cut their energy bills and cut their carbon footprint. And then the 2 down the bottom. So we work in partnership with the local Friends of the Earth to run Sustainable St Albans Week. It's something that we invented last year, and we ran it for the first time, and it was fabulously successful. We had over 100 local organisations run events and activities during the week, and we won 2 Mayor's Pride Awards for it, which we're very proud of. And as part of Sustainable St Albans Week, we did something called Postcards to Paris, where we got 2,000 local people, most of them children, wrote messages about why climate change is important, and we took them out to the Global Climate Conference and gave them to the UK delegation out there. So that might be
1 minute.
right. Sustainable St Albans Week was such a success, it cemented in our minds the fact that we needed to change our name from Transition St Albans to Sustainable St Albans and register as a charity. So we've achieved a lot. We know we could do a lot more with your support tonight. There's 3 things we want to do, one of which is to plan a 12-month series of events over the coming year. The second is to run 2 food waste challenges during Sustainable St Albans Week, one for residents and one for schools. And the third thing is to create and register the new charity, Sustainable St Albans, and move our activities over into it. So thank you for your support. I do hope that you will decide to support us tonight. We love our district and we want it to be sustainable so that people can love it for generations to come.